All right guys, this is Antoine with Fin 42, and today we're going to be demonstrating Fin 42 warm-up. It's approximately 15 minutes long, so let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is a neck stretch. So we're going to take our arms, wrap them behind us. What we're going to do is we're just going to bring our neck back, hold it for a moment. We're going to go forward, off to the side, off to the side. So we're just bringing our ear to our shoulder. Then from there, team, we're going to go into a Y. So we're going to stand with feet close together, lock your legs out, squeeze your butt. We're going to make a 45-degree angle with our arms. We're going to bring our arms up, pull your shoulders down, engage those lats, bring the arms down, and repeat once again. Each exercise we're doing about 10 of once we get to this point. All right, team. From there, we're going to go into a T. Palms are upwards. We're going to go straight out. Make sure to keep those shoulders down and back, engage those lats, squeeze that back, and then bring it in. Once again, repeat. So we're not throwing out our arms, we're just controlling it, squeezing our back. Then from there we have A's. We're bringing those arms straight down and repeating that 10 times. After that, team, we're gonna go into halos. We're gonna wrap our fingers, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep those elbows tight to our body. We're gonna raise one arm up overhead, then bring the other arm behind as if we're combing our hair, like so. Boom, wrap it around. We're gonna go for 10 one direction, all the way around, and then 10 the other direction. Make sure when you're doing this that you're not moving your head around your hands, but you're moving your hands around your head. We're gonna have a lot of people who have a lot of shoulder mobility. Just have them open up their fingers a little more so they're not forcing themselves to have their hands over their head. This will allow them to get over a little bit easier. From their team, we're gonna go into a shoulder mobility exercise. We're gonna grab our dowel, hold it nice and wide. We're gonna bring it overhead, keep your shoulders down and back, lock your legs out, squeeze your butt. We're gonna pull the shoulders down. Now, bring the dowel all the way behind you and then press it up, like so. Let's go for 10 repetitions. Up and down. From their team, we're gonna keep the dowel right underneath our neck, like so. And we're gonna go into a opposite knee, opposite elbow stretch. So we're just going to twist our body. As we twist, we're not forcing our body, we're just controlling our body, going up to one side and bracing the opposite knee, and switching sides, like so. Just take your time on it, balance yourself out, and don't rush through it. Take it slow and controlled, try to engage your obliques while you're doing so, get the body moving, open up the ribcage. From their team, we're gonna go into a leg raise. So what we're gonna do is, the most important thing about the leg raise is staying nice and upright, and when you're doing this, we're not throwing our legs out, because what happens is, when we throw our legs, our hips are gonna move, and we don't want that. We wanna keep our back in a neutral position. We want to lock out both our legs, and it's almost like we're raising our legs instead of kicking our legs up. So we're here, locking out the left leg, squeezing the glute, raising the other leg while keeping it locked out, like so, coming down, switching sides. As if we're marching very stiffly, okay? This is going to be a true stretch on the hamstrings, and it's not going to force our hips to move, okay? From their team, we're going to go into a step over. Make sure the dowel is always parallel to the ground, any of these exercises. And what we're gonna do is we're going to raise our leg up as high as we can, open up, come down, raise that leg back up, bring it in. Okay, and then just repeat the process on that same side, and repeat it on the other side, opening up that hip, come down, and up, control. Never throwing the leg, always trying to build more range of motion as we do so. From their team, we're gonna go into a floor sweep. So we're gonna open up our stance, nice and wide, make sure that our feet are pointing straight ahead. What we're gonna do is we're going to push our hips back. Our torso is naturally gonna come forward, but we're not bending our back. We're gonna keep our back straight, push the hips back, soft bend the knees. And what we're gonna do is we're going to sweep from side to side, opening up our inner thighs. All right, make sure you take it nice and slow and controlled. Keep that dowel parallel to the ground so we're not turning our body, we're just here. Move from side to side. From their team, take our dowel, put it down on the ground. We're not gonna need that for a while. We're gonna get into a push-up position and we're gonna go for a pump drill. So, from here, team, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be in our push-up position. We're going to push from our palms, raise our hips up, drive our heels down. All right, team, we're just trying to stretch out those calves, trying to create a straight line with your body, your torso. Drop the hips, that push-up position. and then raise the hips up once again. From there, team, we're gonna drop down to our knees. We're gonna go into bird dogs. You're gonna dig your toes into the ground, create a straight line with your arms and your legs, creating 90-degree angles with the elbow and the hip in relation to the torso. We're gonna raise our right arm out and our left leg out. As we do so, we're not pointing our toes away, we're driving with our heel, trying to push our leg out with our heel. So we're here, reaching out, head in line with the spine, not looking up, just looking straight down, reaching out, boom, create a straight line, bring the leg in, and then repeat. As people start getting comfortable, you can start alternating sides if you want, or just stick to one side and the other. Boom. From there, team, we're gonna go into a quadruped stretch. When we do this stretch, we're gonna be on all fours, open up our stance with our hips. We're gonna take our hand, bring it either behind our head or behind our neck if possible. The opposite arm is going to be elbow pointing back behind us, so not outwards. We're grabbing the ground. And what we're doing is we're staying nice and tall. We're reaching that elbow to the other side, like so. And from there, we're gonna breathe in, look at our elbow, exhale gradually as we come out. Keep eye contact with that elbow and open up as we do so. We're gonna come in, breathe in, come out, exhale. Once you've done one side, go into the other side. From there, team, what we're gonna do next, we're gonna do the most difficult stretch yet. We're gonna sit down on the ground, bring one leg out, grab on your ankle, and we're just gonna rotate in one direction, all right? So loosen up those angles. Go for 10 rotations on one side, and then 10 rotations on the other, then switch legs and repeat on the other leg. All right, team. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for a hip raise. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down on the ground on our back, arms off to the side, all right? Knees are softly bent. We don't want our legs too close or too far away. Midpoint is fine. We're going to point our toes up. Now, when we do the hip raise, we wanna make sure that we're squeezing our stomach before we do anything. Once your stomach is engaged, you're gonna drive from your heels, you're gonna drive the hips up, squeeze your hamstrings and your glutes. We're gonna come down controlled, and once again, repeat that again. Squeeze your stomach, drive from the heels, raise up, and come down. From there, team, we're gonna go into push-ups. So there's a couple different ways of doing the push-ups. We're gonna start off with just a normal push-up. We're gonna make sure that our hands are directly underneath our chest, about shoulder length apart. Bring our feet together. We're gonna lock your legs out, squeeze your butt, make sure your hips are up, you're not dropping. We're gonna guide our body down, control, pulling ourselves down to the ground, driving from those palms, coming up, okay? If we need to, first thing I do the push-up, let's go into the modified push-up. Make sure from your hands to your shoulders, there's a straight line, and we're not out here, we don't have our hips up, and we're pressing with our shoulder. We want to use our chest and our shoulders together. So we're gripping the ground, bringing our body forward, and creating a straight line from our knees to our head, guiding our body down controlled, driving from those palms, coming up. All right, team. The last bit of the warm-up, we start bringing out the dowel once again. So what we're gonna do is, excuse me. Who's coming up? All right, team. Last bit of the warm-up, we're gonna start using the dowel once again. We're gonna go into movement patterns now, okay? We're gonna take our dowel, we're gonna bring it behind our body. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna take our right arm, we're gonna bring it in line with our neck. We're gonna take our left arm and bring it in line, the gap above our lower back, above our hips in the lower back region. From there, we wanna make sure that the dowel is in line with our head, our upper back, and our hips. From there, we're gonna do the hip hinge movement. We're going to softly bend the knees, push the hips back, and guide the body back as far as we can while maintaining alignment with those 3 points, okay? If we break form, we're not doing it right, okay? So this allows you to see if the client is doing the movement properly. So make sure that all 3 points are in contact, hinge those hips, drive from those heels, stand up, lock the legs out, squeeze your butt, then repeat once again, pushing those hips back, guiding your weight back so that you're almost hanging off those toes. Coming up. Okay, once we've done one side, we're just gonna switch off, go right arm down, left arm up. From there, team, we're gonna go into a split squat. Very similar to our hip hinge. We're gonna bring that dowel back up to that position. We're gonna go top, lift from at the bottom. We're going to bring our left leg out in front. So we have opposite arm, opposite leg in front. Make sure you take a nice wide stance. Your stance is staggered so we're not on a tightrope. Okay, the last thing we want is to create instability in people doing lunges. So make sure you open it up nice and wide. And we're driving from the heel of the front foot, and we're also driving from the toes of the back leg. So it's important to dig those toes in the ground. Make sure you create a straight line with the body, maintaining 3 points of contact, that upper back, the head, and the hips. We're just gonna drive that back knee down. We're gonna push from the heel of the front foot, toes of the back leg, come up in a straight line. And we're gonna repeat that once again, going down and then up. Once we've done one side, we're going to switch sides. We're gonna switch up our arms, left leg up, right arm down, then bringing the right leg out in front. From there, team, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into a reverse lunge with a twist. So when we do this movement, it's just like our split squat, but now we're moving through space. We're not just going up and down, we're going back and forward. So what we're gonna do is, let's start off with our right leg. We're gonna bring that right leg back, dig your toes on the ground, bend both knees to 90 degrees, and then whatever leg's in front, the opposite side is going to reach forward. Boom. From there, we're gonna turn back, and then drive forward, coming up. So we're not going, an easy way of doing it is going up, but we could also drive forward and just stand up from there, coming up at a 45-degree angle, making sure that that knee doesn't overpass that toe, okay? Let's stick to one side on this because people are gonna get confused on what to do. Just say right leg, go down, bend your knees, sweep that right side to the left side, sweep back, come up. Once you've done 10 of those, switch sides, do 10 on the other side. From there, team, we're gonna go into our lateral lunge. We're gonna have both feet together. What we're gonna do is we're gonna instruct our people to go in one direction. Make sure that we're not going left to right, that we're just focusing on one side. We don't want people to run into each other with their dowels. So we're gonna go off to the right now. What we wanna do is we wanna make sure our feet are pointing straight ahead the entire time. We're going to step off to the right, and from there, make sure the feet are pointing straight ahead. Guide that right hip back. Make sure the left leg stays straight. It's almost like we're hinging from our hips. We're pushing that right side back towards the back wall. Our torso's coming down, but we're not bending. We're staying nice and upright, chest up, shoulders back. We're gonna drive from that right heel, come up. We're gonna repeat that once again. Coming down, push that right hip back, soft bend that right knee, drive from that heel, come up. What we're gonna see a lot of is people doing this, trying to come out laterally. It's just step out laterally, push that hip back. Once we've done one side, we're gonna do the other side. All right, team, the last one we're gonna do is overhead squat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a nice wide stance, point the feet roughly 45 degrees. We're gonna bring the dowel overhead, lock up the arms, make sure your shoulders are down and back. We're gonna push our hips back and bend our knees, coming down as deep as we can. We're maintaining an upright posture, making sure the dowel stays overhead. We're gonna drive from those heels, come back up in that position. Make sure that dowel is overhead, team. All right, so we're pushing back on the hips, bending the knees at the same time, coming down, keeping that dowel overhead, looking straight ahead, drive from those heels, and then back up. Once we're done with that, we're done with the warm-up, we can start the workout. All right, team, we just got through the warm-up, so make sure it's 15 minutes long. Try to get 10 movements in each exercise, and then let's get ready for the workout. Let's go change some lives.